Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Max, the Caster Minion. Max is not like the other Caster Minions. He left his wave to pursue his dream of becoming a true master of the arcane elements, having studied under the infamous sorcerer, Fager, who kicked him out as soon as he grew taller than him. Nonetheless, with his newfound mastery of the elements, Max set out to roam the Rift, wreaking havoc upon all who stand in the way of him and the enemy Nexus. Max's passive is Master Caster, which has 3 components. Every third hit from his auto attack sets the enemy champion ablaze, dealing true damage over 5 seconds and granting vision of the target for the entire duration. Second, when Max is nearby an allied minion wave, he gains bonus damage based on the number of minions %. And lastly, Max is able to cast a glamour spell to disguise himself as an enemy Caster Minion. This passive allows him to infiltrate into the enemy minion waves at ease. A minion wave approaches, so I quickly change my appearance. As expected, Ezreal has no idea what is about to overcome him.
Oh crap, what the heck is that? Ugh!
Catching enemies off guard has never been so easy. Before we move on, I think you, the viewer, could use a passive buff too. That is why this video is sponsored by none other than Buff, a free Overwolf authorized app that passively rewards you for simply playing your favorite games, ranging from games like League of Legends, Valorant and Fortnite, all the way to Minecraft. All you need to do is download Buff and run the app while you play any of the supported games to earn free Buff points. Next, you head on over to the marketplace with your points to redeem them for cool rewards like RP codes, Steam credits, Nintendo gift cards, gaming hardware and so much more. Then there are also these interesting challenges you can pick up and complete to earn points even faster. I think they are great because you basically get rewarded while improving your gameplay. Buff is completely safe to use and on top of that super well optimized, so it won't slow down your performance at all. Sign up and download Buff for free by using my link in the description down below to get double the amount of starter points. It only takes a few minutes to get started. Thank you Buff for sponsoring this video. Now let's return to the abilities. His Q ability is called Pyromania. Max becomes immobile while channeling the element of fire, now being able to launch fireballs at will to the target location, dealing magic damage to enemies within and briefly granting vision. This ability is Max's bread and butter. In the laning phase, I utilize Pyromania to bombard enemy minions. My lane opponent, the enemy jungler, my own jungler, and of course the other lanes as well.
Double kill.
Oh, and enemies hit are also set ablaze for a few seconds. Next up is Max's W ability, Nothing Personal. Enhanced by the element of wind, Max propels himself forward in a line through the enemy target's location, dealing magic damage and slowing nearby enemies on impact. Although we think this ability looks really cool, we forgot that putting a ranged caster champion into melee range was a bad idea. So, to combat this imbalance, we added an additional effect to this ability. If an enemy champion has recently last hit a caster minion, this ability can be cast globally to hunt down the criminal in question.
One down.
We believe that this small update pushes Max into a much healthier state of balance overall. Max's E ability is Ice Cone. Upon activation, Max unleashes a fan of icy shards in a cone in the target direction, dealing magic damage to all enemies hit and leaving behind a trail of ice on its path, transforming the area affected for 10 seconds. Enemies struck in the center of the cone are momentarily frozen. Additionally, enemies that enter the frozen area, their movement becomes slippery, forcing them to slide into the direction from which they first entered.
The unseen.
When this ability is used in the river, enemies slide even faster. Movement speed affects this as well. Finally, Max's ultimate ability is called Dominion. Max channels the element of lightning to call for a horde of minions to storm down his lane. While in this form, Max senses limitations and greatly empowers all allied minions close by. Enemies nearby get drained and damaged over time, healing Max up in the process. Additionally, Max is able to move through units to bypass minion block. After some time has passed, Max unleashes all of his build-up electricity around him, dealing massive magic damage to enemies nearby, which leaves them shocked and suppressed momentarily. Considering that this ability involves lightning, it deals bonus damage to enemies residing in the river. From the creators of Prestige Turret, we proudly present to you Chaos Caster Max Prestige NFT Edition. Now you can style on your enemies while simultaneously flexing your financial superiority. Speaking of which, this video series is seriously underfunded. No, I'm not doing NFTs, but I'm starting a Patreon page and I hope that I can fully commit to content creation, primarily focusing on spotlight parodies, which I've been producing for roughly 8 years now. I would absolutely love to create these at a more consistent pace, but sadly, passion does not pay my bills, so I mostly rely on freelance work currently. By becoming a patron, you're able to participate in polls to decide upcoming spotlights. You will get behind the scenes updates and you will also get access to a supporter channel and tag on my newly created Discord server. So please, consider supporting me over at Patreon down below. Enhancing minion waves at ease with his ultimate allows Max to become a successful split pusher in any lane. Which brings us to the next point. His gameplay. Starting the game, I purchase Dark Steel, level up my Q ability and I immediately go to town on the enemy base. Did I forget to mention that this ability has no travel limit? Either way, this usually gives me enough gold for Magi's. Now we can move into the mid lane with a good number of stacks for a strong early game start. While in lane, I clear all waves with my Q, including the second wave that is still underway. Now that I have some time to spare and also hit level 2, I skill W next and travel to top lane because someone had the nerve to last hit a fellow Caster Minion. After collecting more stacks and returning to mid lane, I notice that dragon has just spawned. So I snipe it down at the safety of my turret. This somehow annoys the enemy bot lane and so they start flaming me. Instead of arguing with them over text, I freeze the bottom river and slide into their DMs myself, easily securing another double kill. Before returning to my lane, I decide to quickly stop by the enemy jungler clearing a camp. Being disguised as one of their own minions allows me to get up close undetected. I last hit red buff and quickly make a run for it. Generally speaking, I go full AP, but another fire build you should try out is full attack speed max. This build will allow you to uphold its damage over time passive consistently. I guess you could say, it really fills their hearts with warmth. Upon my return to mid lane, I notice that my opponent is missing, so I take this chance to freeze the enemy turret. And then I finish the job with an auto attack. But something didn't feel right. I felt a chill in the air. The enemy mid laner never went AFK. There it was. Before I could react, she showed up behind me. Minion dematerializer in hand and in one fell sweep. I was gone. Deleted. Sent to the Minion Shadow Realm. She took everything from me. 10 Magi stacks and 14 Caster Minion gold. This angered me. How could I possibly die? Was my champion simply underpowered? Should Riot remove Minion Dematerializer? One thing I was certain of was that they would pay the price. And so, I began my rampage. As expected, it did not take long for most of them to leave the game. Surprisingly, however, there was one champion left standing. Lux. And so, I decided to end the match in style. I arrived in mid lane and set ablaze all 4 pots to unlock a secret power-up. My champion rose up into the air and the ground beneath me began to tremble. A horde of minions stormed down every single lane as I cast a minion globally. We rapidly force our way into the enemy base. Combined with my ultimate buff and minion count passive, there was nobody who could possibly freeze this massive minion wave army.
Victory!
Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to support me while also playing a role in deciding the next champion, please consider becoming a patron.